visit tonight. Big talk, bullying in high school. Top 5, find out who dropped out, who jumped in. Graham versus Richlands is our game of the week. Stump the Crig, all this and more tonight on After the Whistle. Gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of the show. And how was everybody's week?
It was great. It was a good long week. We here prolonged it a little longer than usual.
Cowboys had a 33-point win.
Hey, Bengals scored 2 quick, and Roethlisberger minute and
Y'all
8.
still watch the NFL?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm a big Canadian man myself.
You watch it.
You believe that, don't you?
You
No,
watch it.
I don't, and I've got Sunday ticket and I don't watch it.
Well, then you're ignorant.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well. Man's got to stand for something.
Ain't that a song?
It is. All right, fellas, let's see what we got here. Each week at this time, we'd like to take a second to mention our sponsors. We appreciate everything that they do for us to help make this show possible. Freedom Wireless, BELLACINO'S Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print Pack and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug, coming soon to the Grundy Plaza, Buchanan General Hospital, and Buchanan Therapy Services. I'd like to thank each and every one of them. All right, we had a lot of interesting games last week, and I'll be honest with you, there's something in the water last week, because every game was a freaking nature. Something weird.
Something happened in
every
one of
game
them.
was weird.
It was close.
Weird.
Some of them was closer than
Way
we expected, and then it was a crazy week. Gate City won. Now, how crazy can it get?
What did I say last week?
I
Yeah,
picked
they're
Gate
coming.
City.
They're coming.
I picked.
I did.
I picked.
I picked it. I picked it.
I did not.
I picked Gate City.
Great city. On a field goal.
On a field goal, exactly right. I watched the highlights of it. Those kids were ecstatic when they won that ball game.
They won it all, didn't they?
Yeah, it was really.
But like I said, guys, what have I
special
said
moment
the
for
whole time? You can't do it until you get that first one. And they got that off their back, and we'll see where this takes them.
them. There you go. Got the monkey off their back. All right, let's recap last week's games real quick.
All right, first game we had was John Battle at Ridgeview, guys, and I think that one was close the whole game.
17 points. Ridgeview scored 17 points in the final 9 minutes of the game. So you take that away, it's a pretty close game.
What was it, 7-7 at halftime, and the final score ended up being 24-7. They said Ridgeview finally got stuff kicking in that second half.
I think Ridgeview killed herself with a bunch of penalties and stuff in the first half and was just playing some sloppy football. But they got things adjusted the second half and came on with it.
Well, a good team will find a way to win even when they're not playing well, making mistakes. But that's the kind of mistakes or kind of game that you don't want to have this juncture in the season.
Well, it goes back to what you say. When you're winning, it seems like everything goes right. Like you're just waiting for that one thing to happen.
They're going to have some of those. I mean, I think, like I said, I think they're going to have some of those games like that, and that was one of them. And they still was fortunate enough to come out on it.
Well, as a coach, these are the kind of games that drive you crazy.
Yeah. So.
These are games you probably should win. Hats off to Battle for
It's been a good game
being
plan.
game. Yeah, really good game plan.
All right, next game was Central at Union. We have Union 38, Central 13. I don't know much about how the game went. The score is a little closer than I thought it would be.
Well, I think Wise played well in spurts. Just didn't have enough for Union. Union, I think, jumped up on 32-0, and I think they scored 14 in the latter. But I think they scored 1 on Union's first team. They drove the ball some on them, but just no match for Union.
Well, and if I was mistaken, they lined up in a different offense. Took a couple wing T formations.
They're in the wing T now, running the football. I think they got a different approach with the new quarterback they got, so they're trying some different things. But they played well considering who they played.
All right, next game up would be Great City, the Gate City Blue Devils at Lee County. Guys, listen to this. This is not an error. It's not an error. Gate City 23, Lehigh 20.
And we called it.
Yes,
we called it.
You all been calling it for 8 weeks.
No.
I have not been calling it for 8 weeks. We know very well we haven't been calling it for 8 weeks. Big win for Gate City.
Boys, and like you said, those kids were pumped and good for them. I mean, it's.
Correct, congratulations to Mr. Akers. You
Yes.
know, that's gotta be a lift off his shoulders, so.
Well, we're talking
I've
3 and
been there.
7 already. I mean, already getting the rumblings of 3 and 7 over there. People call this the 2019 state championship game. 19, that's right. That's what I heard. It was on a forum there. Somebody said it was the 2019 state championship game. But if those kids celebrated like it was, and no doubt about it, they've been in the hole for a long time, and I'm happy for them that they was able to pick up the win.
But you know, guys, when the job came open and people applied for that job, you knew what it come with. I mean, the pressure and you know, him to get that, Coach Akers to get that win, he has to be relieved for that. And, like you said, hopefully 3 and 7 is in the eye. All right, next one, Graham at Virginia High. Easy win for Graham, 44-7. Looks like they're rolling into week against the Big R.
Tonight.
Well, it's actually
Yesterday.
As we speak.
as we filmed this, or as we record this show.
They are playing as we speak.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pick so y'all won't think, cause it's early. It is 6:20. I'm picking the Big R.
We'll save ours for later.
Yeah, we'll save ours for later.
Well, I'm picking. They're gonna wait and see what the score is. Then they're gonna pick. But guys, Graham playing some good football right now. Coach Palmer, they're playing good.
Got a lot of athletes, man. They got a lot of speed, and speed's one thing you can't coach.
That's a
Virginia High's, they've slid a little bit here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, they're
struggling a little bit.
I don't know if they have any injuries or what. I haven't heard anything, but good win for Graham. Next game, Castlewood at Lebanon. Lebanon with a big win, 35-14 over the Blue Devils.
I missed that one.
I called that.
You
one.
did. I picked
Oh, yeah.
Castlewood.
I did too.
I picked
Big
Coach
L.
Taylor.
Yeah. That was,
Lebanon. And that's a big win. Like talk about Gate City for Lebanon. That's a good win.
Well, you look at what's,
Especially what they.
if you look at the pattern of things, the way they've been going, on paper at least, or basically things, Castlewood, we thought would have won the game. This is another one of those weird games that took place this week, and Lebanon showed up. Castlewood apparently didn't have anything for them.
No, big win, Lebanon Pioneers. Congratulations to Coach Webb. All right, next game on the docket is Marion at Richlands, and the Big R looks like it had no problem. 30-6 homecoming win for the Blue Tornadoes.
It's 6-0, I think it was
Yeah,
at halftime.
they struggled
This
first
is another
half.
one of those, seeing the halftime score, and first thing I'm thinking, what the heck's going on?
So
I
that
mean, Gate
worries-
City almost beat Marion.
Well, it's
And
like-
now- so you know what?
That worries me for tonight.
Yeah.
For Richmond.
Hey,
That
don't
makes
worry,
me worry.
guys.
It makes
You
me
all
think.
coach. You all know who were they preparing for last week. I mean, who was the kid? Okay, not coaches,
The
not
kids.
coaches. But what was the kids looking at?
That's true.
You know, it's hard to coach kids when they're looking at this is Marion and this and that because what they've done in the years past, they're looking for them G-men.
Well, I tell you, whatever.
Well, they
the
got
deal
them
was,
come here in about 10, 20
yeah.
minutes.
Whatever the deal was, it was.
Yesterday.
One of those that make you turn your head.
Yeah, 10 or 20 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
Tazewell at Fort Chisel. And I think Fort Chisel come out up on top there, guys, and the score was 46-26.
Congratulations to Big Wingate up at Fort Chisholm.
Yeah,
That
I
was
knew
a tough
that.
one to call though, but I mean, I figured it'd be a little bit closer than that one. Tackle speed.
What was Houdini?
And that defense, you said they left over early.
Well,
I
it's still over. They better go back and get it.
picked Tazewell, and I
I
think
did.
most of the panel here picked, I know
Fort Chisholm.
our guests picked, Fort to win it. But that's another one of those games, if you look at everything, it looked like Tazewell was moving in the right direction, and then
Houdini.
it's like, what the heck's going on again? So another one of those weird events, Friday night.
Ain't no weird. It's called Houdini. You know who?
Oh,
Remember
okay.
Houdini?
Yeah, I remember him.
He disappeared. You wouldn't find him.
Houdini was an escape artist.
Yes, he would leave and he'd come up over a mountain somewhere.
That's
Throw him in the
Crig.
ocean in a safe, and he would be in your back door.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
All right, George Wythe at Galax, guys, and this
Close
game
one.
was closer than I I would think
There you go again.
Galax 21, George Wythe 14, guys, and you know, that's some scary stuff right there.
It's kind of a rival game, though. I mean, it's
It
going to be
is.
a rival game because they see each other usually twice a year.
Where's George Wythe stand in the standings?
I think they're down around.
Which, they're
Third.
in opposite
I think
regions
they're-
anyway, so if they
Yeah,
faced,
no.
it would be,
No, they're in Region C.
Well, they're the same
Region
region.
C. Yeah, they're Galax is 1 and George Wythe's about 3 right now, 3 or 4.
oh, okay, so they're in the same.
So that brings things, I
So
think
they're probably-
the win against Homeacre probably catapulted,
George
George
Wythe.
Wythe up to where they, probably felt a little pretty confident coming into this game, but it's surprising, it was very surprising to me when I looked at the score.
All right, next game, Chihay at Roll Retreat, and the choo-choo keeps on rolling. Chilhowie 50, Jimmy Hughes 0. So,
Well, Rural Retreat, big win week before that, then have the,
that's what I told him, keep celebrating
It
that
don't
week.
matter.
gotta go
Roll
on now
Retreat.
next week and build on
And
it.
I say nobody in Region D can play within 30 points of Chilhowie again.
I'm agreeing
You've
with
said
you.
that for
I'm
weeks
agreeing
now,
with you.
so I'm starting to believe it.
Guys, I'm telling you, in 2A right now, they'd compete. I'm not gonna say they'd be top in
Oh,
there,
yeah, I think
but
they
they would
would.
compete.
Look what they did when they scrimmaged Ridgeview.
That's
It's a
right.
scrimmage, but they
That's
pulled
right.
starters at 3 quarters at 17-14.
That's right, I agree. But Chilhowie's still rolling, guys. Honeacre at the Clift, and that's with a T. It's the Honeacre Tigers, guys, 39, and the Hurley Rebels 0, and that's another one.
Shocker to me.
Well, that's.
I mean, especially after the way they played Grundy last week and then come
You
out.
think they
and-
left it all out there against Grundy? It looks
They
like.
must have, man. Just
Well, I
suck the
think
wind out
it
of
was
them.
an emotional game. It took a lot out of them, at least mentally and physically, it appears. And Homeacre, I knew that it was probably going to be a little bit tighter game. I thought, and then turn around and see the score. I was shocked by it.
Yeah, I definitely was shocked. I thought they would drive the field and they'd score a couple times, and I figured it'd be like the Grundy
I
game.
think Coach Church had a couple banged up and come out early too, which helped. I mean, they got 2 important players out right now too, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it.
But
made a
Coach Hubbard
difference.
and
Yeah,
Coach
but
Coleman, they had him ready to go, and they pressed down on the gas. That was a big win for them.
Big
Oh,
win.
big win. Yeah, Homeacre needed that bad.
Next game, it was Twin Valley at Tom Walker, and that score was Thomas Walker 34, Twin Valley 12. Kind of shocked to me. I figured it would be a 34-32, 41-38 type game. But Twin Valley struggled to put points on the board, guys, and Nick Johnson comes out with another win. Go ahead and say it more.
7-3.
7-3. I've been saying the whole time.
You heard him, Nick.
7-3. Very best 8-2, and they've got 2 backs that are just.
He's putting pressure on Nick Johnson, Jose.
No pressure, Nick. Just go ahead and.
He's got you going to Chilhowie already.
Go with the flow there. I'm telling you, they've got a couple good backs that'll keep you very honest. And if you get behind, like Twin Valley did, it made Twin Valley change up some things and that they weren't comfortable.
When you go
doing.
one-dimensional, it's kind of hard when you need both of them to
Yep.
offset each other, the run game and the passing game. All right, you have Twin Springs at Eastside, guys. No contest for Eastside. We knew that. Eastside 51, Twin Springs 16. And Tester's team keeps rolling, and he says, don't sleep on them.
That's right.
Do not
Do not.
sleep on the.
Where they at right now? They're at number 8 in the 1A poll.
Yes.
They're gonna keep climbing. They're gonna sneak up on somebody.
Yeah, that's one of them
As
teams.
long as they don't play number 1 first round.
That's right. So what you're saying, they're not gonna sneak up on you high.
But they're one of those teams that you don't probably want to see them opposite of you in playoffs roll around unless you're.
I wouldn't want to defend them.
Well, okay, next game, Jenkins at Rye Cove, and Rye Cove 39 and Jenkins 6. Leading up, that's a big win going into a game with Twin Valley this weekend for Rye Cove, and they probably coasted there at the end. If they had any injuries or anything, I'm sure they pulled those guys in the second half.
When they, Rocco, it's a similar opponent. Both of them have played Jenkins now. Scored, Twin Valley beat them by just, I think they give up 18 points, but scored 50-some on them.
Scored 54.
It's very comparable. The thing Twin Valley's gonna have trouble with this, coming up next week is gonna be the running game, stopping Rocco.
Well, Rocco, this score, you know, it could've probably been 100, but when their job is, they like to run the ball, shorten the game. If they win 24-0 or 24-6, 39-6, that's their game.
That's right.
They're gonna keep the ball from whoever they're playing.
They can't get behind.
All right, and then, Holston at Northwood, Holston 40, Northwood 8, no surprise there, Northwood's still struggling with a lot
Holston's rolling,
of
bro.
injuries.
Holston's playing well.
Holston's rolling.
Yeah.
They'll be up there in
You
the
know, the
playoffs.
game, I told you, the PH game, I was talking about PH, possibly going, 9-1 looks like, and then PH, Holston was right there with them going into the last,
Right.
7 or 8 minutes, and, they kinda broke the game open, so Holston's, they're not to be taken, lightly either.
And before we get to the game of the week, guys, I want to bring this up and congratulate Coach Jamie Harless of Lord Botetourt. Beat the mighty Bluefield Beavers 17-3, and somebody at Bluefield owes everybody blizzards or frosties,
Frosties, yeah.
because they held Bluefield to under 6. He said there's nobody around can hold Bluefield to less than 6 points.
Yep, I believe that was clearly stated, and, if you don't believe me, go to southwestvirginiasports.com and you can find that out. And, I'm getting in line for my Frosty.
Hey boys, and you know the excuse is already out. Oh, Botetourt 600 kids. Botetourt, boys, Bluefield has the best athletes in Bluefield and the surrounding areas. I've seen them. They're good.
I'm sure they got the best ones in Bluefield.
Jamie Harless came down here, guys, and if you give him a week to game plan, if he can't stop you, it's gonna be close, and it looks like he stopped the mighty power of Bluefield Beavers.
Well, this could be a good, this could, in the long run, be a really good thing for Bluefield, having played him. Getting tested, going back home, maybe with their head down a little bit. And,
Coach Simon will figure it out.
yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna
he
be
will.
good motivational tool for, Beavers.
All right, game of the week, guys. Grundy at John I. Burton, and it was the Raiders coming out on top, 44, Grundy 31. But I think the Raiders scored there at the end to make it that. I
It's a
think
great
Grundy
game,
faked a punt or something. They got good field position and scored, and that's when they got that last touchdown. But they said it was back and forth. Grundy had a 9-point lead at one time.
Well, yeah, they did, and another thing is really interesting, if you go back and look at it, the newspaper even mentioned it. In the final 11 minutes, Burton scored 3 times.
Wow.
Is that conditioning? What is it?
Uh,
Or is it just the way the game went, I mean, that's tough.
They're battle tested, man. They're playoff mode. You're never, if you're ahead 14, you're never ahead, when you're playing Norton and Jimbo. And guys, I was at Union and Central. And I got in my car after the game was over, and I turned it on 93.5, and here it was 31-30, starting the fourth quarter. I said, well, I'm gonna slide in there. And I got down there, and it was, I think 36-31 when I got there, and I think Norton held Grundy once, and on maybe a 4th down, and got the ball back and scored and went up 44-31 maybe,
Yeah.
and just kind of put the icing on it, but they said it was a great ball.
And
game.
well, the whole game was played back and forth the whole game, as everybody I talked to. But the big key was the Raiders holding Grundy to 0 points in the fourth quarter.
That's what, that's what.
I mean, that's
referenced
0.
a minute ago.
And
And those 2 teams probably gonna see each other
Oh,
again.
yeah.
They're gonna probably.
Well,
see each
well,
other
they're
here's
gonna
what,
look at this
and
and
here's
analyze.
what people want to talk about. You want to talk about numbers and this and that. Boys, Jimbo's played with 22 to 26 for years and
Right.
competed and won and been in region finals. He was in the region finals last year and wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, he was a
True.
6th seed last year.
Yes.
6th seed, yeah. So.
So if it was the old format, he wouldn't even been in the playoffs.
Nope. Quick note about that game, prior to the game, J.I. Burton honored, they had 5 members of the 1958 District 8 championship team that was present. I don't know if that's the only living members that they had, but they recognized those guys, and I think they put them in the Hall of Fame over there. It's kind
Is
of a neat
that
little
what,
thing.
your freshman year?
Yeah, I was 8th grade.
Was your 8th grade?
Guys, another big thing on this, we had a kid make Sports Center off this
Yeah,
game, and
we
we
did.
might,
Yeah, we'll talk about
if we're
that.
lucky, we might get to see him here shortly.
That's right, that's right. Guys, it was plastered all over, social media and Sports Center social media. It was a big hit by, Derrick Endicott, and it was a good, it's the one you watch over and over. It was like he was the rock unloading, but it was like he crow hopped to hit it.
I thought I heard him crowing as he was going in the end zone.
But that's it, guys. That was the games for this week.
All right, it's time now for our Big Talk segment. Each week at this time, the Big Talk segment is brought to you by Wooden Horse Grill, located in Hurley, Virginia. The Wooden Horse Grill is open Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 9, open Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10. Wooden Horse Grill has home-cooked meals, smoked and grilled steaks, ribs, and more on weekends, and they're open late after ball games. Stop by and check it out. We got food good enough to make your tongue want to slap your brains out. Wooden Horse Grill. All right, gentlemen, big talk this week. Some very tragic and somber news coming out of the Richlands community. Richlands student, young man, unfortunately took his life, and which leads us to segue into the topic for this evening, and it's bullying in public schools. Bullying, I guess, takes place everywhere, but especially in our school systems. What are you guys' thoughts about this?
Well, like
It's a touchy subject.
Yeah. And guys, we've all been there. You know how us coaches joke with each other and this and that, and sometimes it gets pretty close to home. I mean, and we suck it up and go on with it. But in the schools right now, like I was talking to you all, I feel like the football teams, the basketball teams, and that's girls basketball, boys basketball, cheerleading, our athletes, our student athletes has to be the one to put a stop to it. They need to go, if they see somebody in trouble, they need to go over and get them and say, come over here and sit with me. Don't listen to them.
You know, a lot of the times that people see some of the athletes as bullies, but everybody I've coached and been around has took kids like that under their wing, you know, and I'm not saying it happens at every school. It should happen if you know, coaches should talk to these kids about taking kids like that under their wing and give them something to look forward to.
Well, I agree 100%. I think making kids feel comfortable, making them feel involved, making them feel part of a group is usually one of the first steps in preventing stuff like this from happening. And you know, I know Coach Crig did it with some kids at Twin Valley, and we've still got one. He's graduated and everything, and he still comes back and helps us on Friday nights on the sideline. And reaching out to kids like that, letting them be a part of something is a very important thing. And you'd be surprised the impact that it can make on their life too. And other kids are better because of being around. I mean, this particular young man here, I'm not not aware of all the circumstances or anything, but something like that possibly would have.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying all sports teams. I'm sure some has some bullies on it, and you know what's scary is some kids don't even know they're doing it. I mean, some do, but some think, oh, I'm just joking with him. Guys, every day this day and time, you don't know what people's going through at home.
No. So
lay off. I mean, talk to them. Lay off of them. I mean, you know the people that you can joke with. You're good friends. You know, and like I said, how we do and cut on each other. But guys, I mean, it's getting bad. I mean, and what I know there's bullying back in when we're in school, but it wasn't this bad.
Well,
it's definitely gonna be a no tolerance with the schools and with kids who
and,
everybody don't report it. Who knows the situation at Richlands? I don't know the situation.
I don't know.
It may not have been reported. It may have been, but
they might have talked to them or didn't talk to them.
So
That's
we
true.
don't know all the scenarios, but if you do know about it, you gotta report it.
That's right.
And
guys, if you're scared to report it, just do it anonymous. As teachers, if you want to write a note down saying this happens, or go, can I talk to you anonymously? Talk to them and tell them what you think's going on. But that puts the principals and the teachers, man. You know how many people come and say, well, such and such is doing this to me, such and such doing this to me, and you watch and you never see it.
Right.
And to you, you're like, man, is he or she making this up, or what was it? It's put a lot of pressure on teachers, and it's pushed a lot of people that wanted to go in education away too.
Well,
they don't want to teach because of
teachers, administrators, what have you. It's a very delicate situation because, as you said, unless they see these things, legally, there's not a lot of things that can be done. You know, if a kid comes to them and says, you know, hey, this is happening, they can bring a student in, talk to them, but unless they actually witness something, you know, bad happening, their hands are somewhat tied. There are measures that can be taken, you know, try to help prevent it, maybe, you know, talk to these students, but this isn't as black and white as most people think it is. It's very, it's difficult sometimes to detect. You don't even know sometimes it's happening, sometimes they do know what's happening. But it's one of those things that, you know, I guess everybody is in the community, if we hold ourselves to a higher standard, I think things like this would probably not happen. Even though they don't happen very often, they wouldn't even happen as often as they do if this was addressed a little bit more seriously.
And another thing, guys, I mean, you can bully, adults can bully. I mean, like we've seen at the Little League game. I mean, that brawl coming up. I mean, and you like people in power when I'll just bring up politics, this and that. Boys, when you run, these politicians get picked on. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, and you know, when Obama won, I've never seen anybody take a ripping when he won presidency as I did around here, and people just getting on him until now.
Yeah.
Now you've got President Trump in there, and guys, that's all we see on the media. This one versus this one, this one versus this one. Look what this one did 50 years ago. Look what this one did guys. I mean, our kids see that.
That's right.
I mean,
culture of it.
yes. I mean, we've seen it. The 8 years Obama was president. Now we're seeing it again.
Well, you know, you're alluding to this. It kind of takes me back a few weeks back when Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly had this thing, and you know, what was the whole purpose of this? I mean,
to sell their records.
Is to make make money, but what's the purpose of you make rhymes or whatever it is they want to call it, and for 3 minutes all you do is verbally disrespect someone else.
That's right.
And you're considered the winner if you can out disrespect them. Right. And that's the type of culture that we live in, and it's glorified. And you hit the nail right on the head when you said that. It's everywhere around us, and people
at the highest power.
Yeah, we need to hold people to We need to hold people to a higher standard, and maybe in doing so. But one of the possibilities is, you know, if coaches can have, you know, an influence in schools
and football players, and girls basketball players, and boys basketball players, and baseball teams, guys, athletes, especially in Buchanan County, do your part. And I know some people are in our county, and I see it at Riverview, some kids picking up some kids that's down. Hannah Stiltner at Riverview has a kid in there that she's took under her wing and helping out, and the kids are flocking to him right now. But it's just not him. We need to do everybody that we see lonely.
It helps situation, help everything. All right, well, like I said, very difficult topic, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Richlands community and the family of that young man, and our prayers are with him. All right, each week at this time, we have our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. And the BELLACINO'S Player of the Week is brought to you by BELLACINO'S Pizza and Grinders. Folks, if you haven't been by BELLACINO'S in a while, you need to stop by and check it out. They've got 11 new big screen TVs. Come down and enjoy a pizza or grinder while you catch up with your favorite team on the big screen. They stay open late until 11 o'clock on Fridays now. So after watching your game, stop by with some friends and grab something to drink and some food and sit around and talk about the game. BELLACINO'S would like to wish all the local teams good luck this season. So at this time, Coach, I'm going to turn it over to you and introduce our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week.
All right, like I said, guys, every week we have a few worthy players at each school in the county. I think this week all three schools in the county had lost, but we still had some good performances, especially we had one performance over at John I. Burton, which is by a kid who was our player of the week this week. He had 107 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and also was featured on Sports Center. Mr. Derrick Endicott, come on over to the show, man.
Congratulations, sir.
Well, it ain't the big show, but it's the show.
Congratulations.
Hey, this is the closest thing to this, man. Y'all see how we got our camera set up.
Wonder how many shows gets a guy on that's been on ESPN.
Well, that's a fact. I want to start by, it's a great hit. I watch it. I mean, it was like the Rock doing the people's elbow. You crow hop and got that wiggle going, and you will whoop. I loved it. I loved it.
Well, man, I'm gonna get to the hit later, but you know, you had 107 rushing yards over at John Alberton. You lost a hard fought battle over there with those guys, and always a good football team. But I noticed you were a little bit more involved this week, like I said, with 107 rushing yards, and I think you come out passing a little bit early. Talk us a little bit about the game and what went on during the game.
Well, you know, man, we came out strong, and kind of lost momentum going towards the end of the game. You know, sometimes you go up and sometimes you go down. We went in, we was down. I'd have been up. I can't really remember.
Yeah, he was down 16-13.
Down going into halftime. You know, sometimes you just lose momentum. You have some of these kids here and there that just lose momentum going in. I think we just didn't stay steady throughout the game.
Yeah, man, well, it was awesome, man. Like I said, it was back and forth. I know it was 31-30, 36-31. It was changing scores, but like I said, it was overall a great game and awesome effort. And I was just going to ask you, man, I know I watched the highlight on the hit, man, and you had a little adrenaline going. You broke open on the sideline and you dipped the shoulder. What was going through your mind? Nothing was going to deny you that goal line, right?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people's been asking, you know, the crow step. I just like the crow step and stuff. And
That's awesome.
Yes.
It made the hit, tell me.
Yeah. You know, I was trying to judge if I could cut back right or go left. I couldn't go left because the sideline was left, and I had more to finish to the right. So I just dipped my shoulder, and what happened. I don't know.
Then all of a sudden, no. That's exactly what happened.
Hey, boy said, I ain't going out of bounds.
Yeah.
I remember the kid that you hit there, he just set up and just turned around and looked. He didn't get up, he just set up.
He was like, man, I can't believe
I just got postered, you know, if it's basketball, he got done.
Let's say right here. Oh, gosh, get it. Get it.
But yeah, it was
That's what you need.
nice. But a question I got for you there, Derrick.
There we go, we watched.
There it is, good.
Well, I'm gonna say, man, I know what it was. It was that daggone race fork coming out here. That's what it was.
Yeah, early bread, I guess. You know.
Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
no,
interrupted
that's
you on
fine.
that
That's a
one.
good one. I can respect that race fork comment.
Where's race for?
If you don't
Deep
know,
early.
if you don't know, there's no need to discuss that.
That's on the south side Hurley.
Is it close to Gessie's Fork?
Really close, actually.
Yeah. Question I have for you is, it's appeared to be, I mean, at least looking at the stats and everything, that you were more involved in the offense other than just handing the ball off this week. Was that by design, or did you guys work on that all week, or is it something just happened? You know, maybe they were taking away Gabe, or you guys just adjusted, or is it something that coach was trying to implement more of?
Well, if you go back and look on huddle, I don't know if you guys can see our plays against that, but whenever I broke the runs, it was out of pass plays. You know, we didn't have any designated pulling guards to run downfield and block. It was more or less.
You just seen green grass. And
Yeah,
you ran.
yeah, it's kind of I saw it and I took it. You know, sometimes I feel comfortable passing. If I don't feel comfortable passing, I'll just go downfield, take a cut back, and see what I can get out of it. That
Right.
time I just cut back and saw what I got.
I got a chance to speak with you, Coach, the other night, and I got a feeling there'll be a lot more designated runs in that for you. So.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
What's it like? I know your old man was a pretty good quarterback
Yeah,
back in the day.
a lot better than I am now.
Does he give you any pointers, or does he critique you any on your game?
A lot, you know. I'll be on the whenever we kick off. I'm on defense and I'm on offense. So I don't really have much time on the sideline, but whenever I am, I'm always looking up in the stands, and my dad will give me hand motions, you know, what to do. He'll tell me to drop back a little more, and I always taking it up there. I was reading through his articles just the other day. My parents got out well, not my dad. My mom and my cousin Allison, she got the articles my dad had. He had multiple, 200-yard games, and he got 1,000 yards passing. I think the paper said, and it was just awesome for me to see what my dad could achieve in high school.
Well, I grew up watching your dad, man. He's one of the best quarterbacks that ever came through early period, the 86 team, the 85 team, the teams he was on was just some good teams, some good football to watch, and he was definitely a great ball player, and looks like you're trying to climb the footsteps there.
Trying my best.
All right. So,
I've got a question there. You was talking about momentum. It was 16-13 at halftime, and you all came out and you all took the lead. The opening drive, you all took it down the field and scored. You held them. you scored again. Talking about the momentum, and you know, you don't want to disclose anything. Something happened to you during that game that might have took some stuff away, that you might couldn't throw the ball or something. You think that might have had a little bit where y'all went one-dimensional there?
I mean, yeah, I guess you can say that as statistical show. Whenever I got hurt,
Yeah.
just after I scored a touchdown, we kind of lost some momentum. I mean, myself personally, I can't say it just because I got taken out of the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know you don't want to make excuses or this and that, but you know, as a coach, then I'm seeing it, or if I'm an opposing coach, if I'm Jimbo Adams, I'll be like, guys, he's banged up. He's not playing like he was at the first. We don't think they can throw the football, you know, and that's part of football. But even at the end, y'all battled right to the end. Y'all battled right to the end. It was a great ball game. Like I said, it was only a 7-point game there, and y'all had to do some stuff to try to get back in it. Then they scored one at the end. I mean, it was really a 7-point ball game.
Houston Thacker actually said in an article, I can't remember who he's speaking to, but he actually noticed that I got taken out of the ball game, and he told Derrick Allen, his number 1 wide receiver, I think his number's number 1 and Thacker's number 11, and he actually looked at Derrick Allen. He said, you know, Derrick Endicott's out. Go up here and
Whoever's in for him, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
That's like I said. I mean, that was a big key, and that was a big turnaround. That, you know, you're going to probably have to face them again. If you do, and that don't happen, you all might turn around and be on top. That easy. That simple.
Yeah, you know, I'm hopefully looking to see them first round playoffs. That make my week whenever we get the playoff points in.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you. If it's a very good possibility you'll see them again. And this wasn't, you never want to lose, but this wasn't a bad loss.
No.
And, you know, taking into consideration some of the things we talked about, this could be a pretty daggone good rematch. And revenge factor is going to be on your side this time.
It is. You know, last year we played them, we beat them like 37-7. You know, I guess we got the big head coming into the playoffs. You know, we beat them 37-7 last time. We can just smack it to them, and we just didn't come in with enough momentum, and they absolutely whooped us.
Roles could be reversed this time.
Exactly right. Hoping so.
Let's go.
Well, man, you know, we was talking about your dad a little earlier, you know, talking about you had some big shoes to fill, and at least you can tell him, ask him, has he ever been on ESPN?
That's a fact.
You know,
So you got one on him.
You go through his papers and then let him watch your video.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm just going to be the first one to tell you here. He's not the only one at this table that's been on ESPN.
You were, I bet.
Back in 2000, I don't know when it was, we was playing up there in the state championship ball game. Honaker was playing right before us.
And you was in the crowd.
Thornhill went up and dunked that ball, got on ESPN, and we're about to come out and play next. And I'm standing right in the doorway, baby. Still got it at the house right now. I can pause it and show you. I am on ESPN.
It's always that first man that's got to do it.
take what you can get, I
Yeah,
guess.
take what you can get.
No, but boys, I wasn't on it like that. I'd rather be crow hopping than hitting somebody, which I wasn't known for my hittiness back in the day.
You know you're crow hop.
No, I could crow hop.
Yeah, you crow hop. More like a goose step or something.
Well, man, congratulations for this honor, man, and just good luck the rest of the way and this week, and good luck in the playoffs, man. I wish you well, and keep it rolling, man. Hopefully you can make that Sports Center again and give us one more
Hopefully.
go around. Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you coming.
Jeez.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the honor. Thank you.
All right, folks, at this time, we'd like to recognize our sponsors, Freedom Wireless, BELLACINO'S Pizza and Grinders, Grundy Auto Sales, Hurley IGA, Hurley Pharmacy, Express Print, Pack, and Ship, Hurley Community Pharmacy, CarQuest Auto Parts, Wooden Horse Grill, Buchanan Pharmacy Associates, Plaza Economy Drug, Buchanan General Hospital, and Buchanan Therapy Services. And I will drop this in there, Express Print, Pack, and Ship up in the Anchor Shopping Center. It's getting close to holiday time. You need to ship a package. Come up there and compare prices. Let me tell you which carrier will be the cheapest, UPS, DHL, or FedEx. All right, gentlemen, this week is Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner is brought to you tonight by Grundy Auto Sales. So you're in the market for dependable used car or truck. Is your car or truck in need of a tune-up, around the tires, or some repair work? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, you need to stop by and see the folks at Grundy Auto Sales. They have a wide selection of affordable and dependable vehicles. Whether it's a vehicle you're looking for, round of tires, repair work, any of that stuff, Grundy Auto Sales has you covered. Stop by and let the owners, Tim and Tammy Nichols, know that you heard about them on the show. And Tim and Tammy are praying for all the local players to have a blessed and safe football season. They wish all of our county teams the best of luck. It's Grundy Auto Sales located in Grundy. All right, gentlemen, this week, our guest on Coach's Corner is none other than Adam Beefy King from Twin Valley High School. Beefy. And when he gets
How are
on
you,
the
Beef?
camera,
How are you?
he's gonna be able to tell
Why's them palms sweaty?
I got blood pressure problems, I guess.
Adam Beefy King, welcome to the show, Beef.
Man, let me ask you a question. Did you coach this guy over here?
I actually played for that guy over there.
Hey.
I actually played for both of them.
That's right, buddy.
Didn't you coach?
Yeah, I coached with him for about 4 or 5 years, I guess, there for a while.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was
You learned a lot of football,
I did
didn't
learn a
you,
lot of
Beef?
football, stuff to blow your mind, to be honest with you.
That's a fact.
I'd say it did.
Well, man, y'all went to Thomas Whopper this week. You know, I know Nick Johnson's got a good football team up there. Talk a little bit about that and what happened on that game.
Well, to add a little bit more for Nick there, his one of his star running backs was actually hurt for most of the game. He, number 21, I can't think of his name, on film looked pretty good. Looked like he was battling a hamstring issue, so he came out and had about 4 or 5 carries and some good carries, but every time he gets tackled, he'd come out for a while, so I don't know what's going on there. Hope he gets healthy, you know, and be able to finish the season for them, but you know, we knew they were good going into that game, and we knew it'd be hard to go over there and pull off a win. But he has about 3 or 4 stud players in the backfield, a solid offensive line, and a decent, pretty decent defense too. And his quarterback's big. I mean, he's the biggest quarterback we've seen this year. He's about 6'4", about probably 220. I mean, he's
190.
Well, I don't know. He's huge. So, but
That's what Nick told me. Said he's huge. Said he's a big guy.
Well, I seen him in pads. I didn't see him out of pads, but pads may have.
And he's a freshman.
He's a freshman.
Yes.
He's a big kid. So, but went over there. We had a few injuries. I don't think that changes the game. I think it changes it maybe a little bit for our score. But we went over there. Isaac Hampton, one of our better wide receivers, got hurt early in the first quarter. Then our quarterback Tyler, he got banged up a little bit. Tyler's unfortunately had some injuries this year. He's fighting every week to be on the field. So we had some injuries play into that role. A couple kids out, but at the end of the day, you get behind them, the way they can score in that offense, moves the ball, it's hard to get back in front.
Well, let me ask you a question, Beef. You guys got this is a big game for you guys. We're still in that we were at lunch the other day there and crunching numbers and looking at things and scenarios and not trying to get ahead or anything, but you know, this game coming up this week against Rocco is one that you guys gotta have if there's any chance of getting in the playoffs. And I know you
No
Playoffs.
pressure. No pressure.
Playoffs.
What do you guys what you gotta do to beat Rocco?
Well, you got to take care of the ball. You can't beat yourself first of all. It's going to be hard enough to beat them without beating yourself. They got some studs in the backfield, just like Thomas Walker, but I think it's 21 or 10 or 9 or something like that. I know number 9 is their fullback. He's stud too, and they like to pound it down your throat. And if you ain't ready there to take it at the line of scrimmage, they're gonna pound it all night. That's just the kind of team they are. A very old school like mentality. They bring it out and bring the fight to you. So I'm worried offensively and defensive line of scrimmage. I think we give up size on both sides of the ball. I think we got to do a good job tackling and wrapping up as a team. Everybody flying to the ball defensively. And offensively, I think it may come down to maybe a little bit making some plays out of the passing game, keeping them off balance a little bit. Don't get in the habit of running the ball too much. Don't get in the habit of throwing the ball too much. Keep good balance on offense. But the main things we're going to come down to is if we can tackle the backfield, the good running backs. They're going to have the size advantage on us even in the backfield.
Have you already answered these questions for another show somewhere? That's pretty good, B.
He was on ESPN.
I mean, was you on ESPN? You and Derrick on ESPN earlier?
Yeah.
You
Well,
all, that's a,
Well, we have to do this. We got some beefyisms. Okay, beefyisms. And Coach Crig and I can speak to this. We know we can tell you stories all night. But you got to tell them the one about. Well, you've been harping on it for 3 or 4 weeks now. So the one you just mentioned a minute ago.
hey boys, the best one. Well, there's 2 good ones that I got is the best of coaching Beefy and being around him was. We went to Hurley one day and he just looked and he was just sitting there and he was like, oh, hey guys, look over there. They misspelled the cliff. They left off the T.
That's true, Beef.
But
It doesn't go the way he tells it, but yeah, that's
but
true.
the biggest one.
He always
Yeah,
embellishes.
it's
it.
not
The biggest one, the best one of all time Beefyism was, we had practiced, we was playing pound, or we was playing somebody,
Oh, yeah.
and they dropped back, and we practiced that screen they were throwing all week long, and got in the game, and there it come, Beefy misses it. He knocks it down, he misses it. He comes to the sideline, Coach, if my finger was an inch taller, I'd have caught it.
He's right. I meant to say inch longer, but
if
that's
his
haunted me for the
finger
last
was
10
an
or 12
inch
years of my
taller.
life, and it will continue to do that. I
But
meant
I
to say
got
inch
one
longer.
too on there. We played St. Paul several years ago. I think Mark Palmer was still the coach over there, and Beefy was playing both sides of the ball, wasn't coming out of the game. And if anybody's ever been over there, they've got porta potties behind the bleachers over there on the visitor side. Old Beefy come running off the field, saying, "Get somebody in the game. I got to go to the bathroom." And he runs into the porta potty. All the fans like wondering where he's going. And then he
Like
just
Superman.
busts out of the porta potty, just like Superman, and just darts right straight back onto the field, and we get somebody else out, and he's back in the game. So I mean, he took time to take care of
Like
business.
Clark Kent
Clark
turned
Kent
into
back out there and took
Superman.
care of business. But all that's all in good fun. Or we've had a lot of good times. I will say this: I've been knowing Beefy for several years, and he's turned out to be a very good coach. He pays
Very
attention.
smart about the game.
Yeah, smart about the game, studies the game, is interested in the game, very passionate about the game. And not just football, basketball as well. And of course, he had a real good coach to even help him out there.
I agree, Mike Wright was one of the best coaches I ever had.
Number 2, Coach Wright there.
You're welcome, Beefy. You're welcome.
But Beefy was one of the most.
Hey, he did beat Fuzz for the Black Diamond District Tournament Championship.
That is right. Fuzz has got buzz, I said.
Yeah, Fuzz has won 100 and some games, he said.
But Beefy played a big part of our basketball success several years ago, and very talkative on the floor. And of course,
Moves
you
pretty
can
good to be
tell.
big.
Yeah, you can tell by the interview here that he still is talkative and everything. Beefy, tell you what we're going to do. We got some more items here to cover on the show here. We want you to sit up here with us,
All right.
chime in, make some picks, and contribute a little bit, and hopefully we won't say nothing else.
Sure, what we're trying to say.
Maybe we'll get one of those priceless moments. Maybe you'll say something.
How many points will Alabama beat Tennessee by?
All right, folks.
That's how bad.
Billions. All right, so the moment we wait for each week. Each week at this time, CarQuest Auto Parts, located in Hurley, brings us Stump the Crig. So CarQuest Auto Parts, located in Hurley, is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, open Saturday, 9 to 12. See them for all of your auto parts needs. All right, folks, each week at this time, we attempt to reach deep into inside the mind of Coach Krieger and extrapolate some of his wisdom by asking him a couple of questions that the average man cannot answer. We have a couple of questions here, and these questions have been medically sealed in an envelope. Been in this envelope, placed in a vault and under security guard for the last 24 hours, and it was recently delivered by an armored truck. And they've just been delivered, and now we're going to look at these 2 questions, and he has not seen these questions. Is that correct?
I have not seen
He's
them.
not seen these questions. All right, first question that we have this evening for Stump the Crig. Why do you need an appointment to see a psychic? Think about that.
Well, the psychic should know you're coming.
So why do you need to get an appointment to see them?
I don't have no idea. Why would, I guess because they're fake.
You're saying psychics aren't real?
No, psychics are definitely not real.
Then why would you go?
Because people's ignorant.
People see.
I mean, they may.
Well, think about that for just a
Hey, if you've seen the movie Ghost, Whoopi Goldberg brought that dude back. She knew.
She did. That's
I mean, she didn't. He didn't have no appointment. He just busted up in there and said, "I did read the 8th eye, I've read the 8th eye, and buddy, I don't know, I guess psychics are real, why would you need one? I have no idea.
Maybe you just show up and they've already got you on the list when you get there.
So that's an appointment.
Yeah.
So you already got an appointment.
Yeah, they probably got you down, you don't even know it.
Yeah, they know you're coming. You don't even know you're
You don't
coming.
even know you're going.
Hmm.
All right. All right, that's the first question out of the way. Second question this evening. If you dig a hole at the South Pole, are you digging up or are you digging down?
Down, south's down.
But you're already
I don't
south.
care, you're down. South is down, you're digging down.
But if but you are down.
Well, you're still, you're digging deep south.
You're digging down or
Yeah, you're digging down. You're not you can't dig up.
can't dig up. That's a pretty good observation there. I never thought about it that way.
So you gotta dig down. So there, see, you didn't, that was an easy answer. You can't dig, you can, no, you can't dig
I
up.
believe you got stumped on that.
Yeah, that was
You
it.
can't dig up because you're already down.
But you gotta dig down. You asked me, do you dig up or down? You're digging down.
Okay. Everybody got that?
Cause you can't dig up.
Do you dig? Do you dig up, Beefy? All right. This sounds like anything might have happened on the sideline during a game, Beefy. Maybe. All right. Well, once again, folks, we have failed to stump the Crig, but we know that you cannot dig down. That being said, it's time for our DOTSON'S IGA Top 5 this week. Each week, DOTSON'S IGA presents the top 5 in 1A and 2A. Stop by and check out DOTSON'S IGA Express in Hurley Square. DOTSON'S IGA is known for its fresh meat department. They take special orders and will even prepare it to suit your taste. Contact DOTSON'S IGA for the best steaks in town. They sell a wide variety of trays, so if you need a sandwich tray, a meat tray, a cheese tray, or a fruit tray, they've got you covered. Stop by and check out DOTSON'S IGA Express. You'll be glad you did. They also have some QVC pallets that they're getting in over there, so they got a lot of new merchandise. Check it out just in time for the holidays. DOTSON'S IGA Express, hometown proud. DOTSON'S IGA.
There's one thing you can't do, guys, over there at Hurley's IGA.
What's that?
You can't beat their meat.
So it says.
Best prices or?
Oh, prices, taste, you can't beat it.
Can't be. All right. All right, Coach Tester, let's start with 2A.
2A?
We'll go backwards, yeah. We'll start with 2A.
2A, I don't think we got no changes, but we could have a change here tonight.
No, yesterday.
Yesterday, tonight.
We'll plug that in.
Hey, number 5 is still Grayson County. Number 4 is the G-Men, maybe until tonight.
It's true.
Number 3 is the Blue Tornadoes. Number 2, the Union Bears, and number 1 is the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
Go pack, go pack.
All right, recap one more time. 2A, number 5.
Number 5, Grayson County. Number 4, Graham. Number 3, Richlands. Number 2, Union. And number 1, Ridgeview.
All right. DOTSON'S IGA, top 5 in 1A. We got a little bit of change this
A little
week.
mix up.
We got a little
shake-up.
flip here. Coming in at number 5 this week, we swapped rows. The Grundy Golden Wave is coming in at number 5 after their tough loss to Burton. And that moves the Burton Raiders up to number 4 in the 1A poll. Number 3 is Patrick Henry. Number 2 is Galax. And number 1 is Chihai.
They the Ric Flair of the top 5.
Yep. As Coach Tester says, in order to be the man,
You
you
gotta
gotta
beat
beat the man. And we're holding true to that. Graham, G-Men.
You could do it here in about yesterday, 20 minutes
You
from
guys
now.
want to move up? Tonight's your opportunity to do it. All right. So give me a recap real quick on 1A.
1A, number 5 is Grundy. Number 4, John I. Burton. Number 3, Patrick Henry. Number 2, Galax. And number 1, Chilhowie.
All right, that's it for our IGA, DOTSON'S IGA top 5. Now at this time, we will move on to our games of the week and our predictions for this week. Another big week in football here, and it's brought to you by Buck General Hospital. Buchanan General Hospital has been serving citizens of Buchanan County for over 40 years, and they strive to provide comprehensive health care services to everyone with a caring, competent staff which is dedicated to meeting the community's needs for safe and efficient quality health care. Buchanan General Hospital provides quality care at a very reasonable cost. If you need anything, give them a call there, 276-935-1000. Naturally, if it's an emergency, you call 911. All right. Buck General Hospital, this week's games, coaches, we're running up against the clock here, so we got to kind of fly through these. About 53, there, about 7.
What about the man?
We'll get to him.
Oh, he ain't yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm behind me, I believe. We've prolonged this day longer, it's got me.
It's
All
got
right.
me too.
First game, guys, that we've got is John Battle at Gate City, and you know Gate City's coming off that big win. I'm gonna pick this game first. And guys, they come off to win, and I told you when they win that first one, they're gonna win some more, but I'm going with John Battle Trojan to win at Gate City.
They're at Gate City, well, that changes everything.
Well, guys, John Battle
Changes
played
everything.
Ridgeview pretty daggone good. And
John
if they-
Battle. I'll pick John Battle. Changes everything, John Battle.
They played Ridgeview too well last week, going with Battle.
Wow.
Going with Battle.
You mean they ain't still, they come some
Beef,
far?
what do you think, Eric Beef?
Uh-oh.
Gate City's got the momentum right now. Battle's they played Ridgeview pretty good. That's a tough
All right,
one to play.
baby.
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with Gate City. I think they're gonna.
So, upset at home? I thought we was picking the upset.
Well,
Beef
Gate City
going
at
against
home.
the grain.
Got a win last week. Momentum's rolling.
Thank you, Beef. Central at Lee. Central at Lee County. I'm going with Big Luke. After Lee, big letdown last week. I think Big Luke in the wing tee with another week too. They keep the ball from Lee and win on a low scoring game.
I think so too. I'm gonna go with Central on that one. I think the wing tee's gonna be the difference. I think Lee may be at that point after that loss last week that they may be looking forward to the end of the season.
Well, I think it's now or never for Wise. They got their 3 games left. They got Lee, Gate City,
Right.
and Grundy.
Three
3
tough.
winnable games, 3 tough games, but they're still
But
winnable.
winnable,
for
that's
them.
right.
And I think they got to get this one, and I think they will get this one, whether you call it an upset or not. I don't know, maybe so, but I'm going with Central on
That's
this.
a good rhyme. Don't know, but maybe so. All right, guys, Virginia High at Lebanon.
Virginia
Lebanon
High.
coming off at the win, but Virginia High too much, Virginia High big.
Yeah, Virginia High's got too many weapons. I'm going with Virginia High.
All right, next game.
Virginia High.
Hey, boys. Marion at Houdini. We got Marion at Tazewell.
Go.
Shoot. If they come back to Hurley, I'll call over and see if Taz will come back to Hurley to pick that defense up. And if they did,
You're going with the
I'm
Dogs.
going with the Dogs. But I don't know right now, so I'm going with the Hurricanes. I'm going to go with Marion.
I'm going with the Dogs on this one. They gonna pull it out. Where's it at?
It's at Tazewell.
Oh, definitely
I'm
the
gonna-
Dogs. The Dog Pound.
Boys, Marion played Richlands awful tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
I tell you what, I got a little bit vested in this. I could help coach over at Marion for 2 years.
Here we
So
go.
I'm going with the Scarlet Hurricane. I'm going with the Gumps over there.
You know Coach Wright's not coaching.
Bulldogs win.
Yeah, I know
They
Coach
make it
Wright's not
AC.
there. I'm going.
Hey,
with
boys,
Marion.
I'm not saying it's blowout. I just feel like that, Marion,
Oh, we got you.
pretty good football team. Who you got, Beef?
I said Tazewell.
Oh, Bulldogs.
I think Tazewell got a little speed. I don't know what Marion's got though, but I'm gonna go off.
Tazewell's got a little
Tazewell.
speed, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Really.
But they left their defense at Hurley, Beefy.
Yeah. All right, we'll
It's
take
stuck
it.
in that mud over there.
Oh, go ahead, next game.
Pikeville, Kentucky guys at Grundy, Golden Wave, Nelson Memorial Field. I know Grundy was gonna go 10-3. I know they can't now, but this was one that the 3.
One of the 3.
I said, I'm not. It is what it is.
Pikeville is
Pikeville is tough. They played Belfry. Pikeville wins this one pretty big, guys.
I'm gonna go with Pikeville as well. I think Pikeville just has too many weapons. I think Grundy's gonna be game early.
And they're banged up a little bit too.
It's gonna be tough.
No disrespect, but Pikeville wins easily.
I'm with Pikeville. They pretty good.
All right. Going next game, Hurley at Naugatuck. And if y'all don't know where it is, that's Tug Valley.
Tug Valley, Hurley. Coach
Man.
Fisher, you wanna pick first on that?
Man, Tug Valley is always a physical, scrappy, well-coached team.
He's gonna pick against it. Go ahead.
Boys, they're banged up. Hurley's banged up. I
Hurley's
agree with
banged
you.
up. Hurley's got to go to Naugatuck.
That's 3 touchdowns down as it is.
Yeah, it's a fact.
tough choice, but I'm still going with the Rebels on this one.
Rebel
Well,
born, rebel bred. When he dies, he'll be rebel dead. All right, well, I tell you what I'm gonna
You
do.
gonna pick against no roommate over there?
No, I'm not.
You ain't gonna pick against no
I'm not
roommate.
gonna pick against him, boys. He works hard at what he does, and he puts every effort in it, and I can't even know that.
They got to grind, man. They
Yeah.
got 2 games left. They
I
gotta
still
grind.
believe their ball control. Boys, they're capable of keeping the ball in them. They proved that against Grundy. They proved that against Eastmont. They got to come out of it soon, and
Thank you, big man.
I'm going with Hurley.
I'm gonna take Tuck Valley in this one, fellas. As bad as it pains me to do that. Well, I'm just gonna be.
It would pay
Be honest,
me.
I hope the Rebels win. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope they're gonna take care of business, but,
Beefy?
I'm not really gonna pick anybody, I'm just gonna say the crowd should get a good show, both those teams are pretty physical, so. I don't know who wins that, but it's gonna be a good one, head knocking football game.
well,
I'd say.
I'll be straight up. One of the main reasons I'll pick against them is because, of where they going.
Right.
I'll leave it at that.
Oh, you're
Go on to
right.
the next one.
You are right.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
next game, we've got Rye Cove at Twin Valley Panthers. And guys, I've picked them all year. I know it's gonna be tough on them this week, but I think Tyler Keene and Brandon and get that passing going. Twin Valley wins in a close one. I mean, close.
Go ahead.
You know what? Twin Valley and Rock Cove is a pretty interesting matchup, pretty close, numbers wise. But you know what? They've had 3 former BELLACINO'S players of the week that I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna ride with Twin Valley on this one.
I won't ride with Twin
Tyler
Valley on this
King
one.
and Brandon Lester and Xavier Wolf.
I'm gonna ride with Twin Valley on this one. I think they got a little something. I felt like from some of the kids, stuff I heard them talking about last week, that they seemed like they were focused. They realized last week's game was big. They're talking about the trip down there. I even heard the kids talking about, we're gonna be focused going down. And unfortunately, they didn't win, but I think they got their head in the right place, and I'm gonna go with them.
Well, and they can't get down Friday. Big thing is if Rye Cove drives the field on them and they have a big 12-play drive and they score, you can't get down. Ball game ain't over. You
That's
can
right.
score. You've scored all year, so they just have to play ball. All right, we got John I. Burton at Castlewood. Easy win for Big Jimbo Adams. He has no problem with Castlewood, guys.
The Raiders.
Merton.
Oh, let's see what Coach Tester picks here. We got you, at his famous East Side. Who you got there?
You know what? I said that 30-point stuff earlier. We'll figure
You
that
stick
out
with
this week.
that?
I'm gonna say,
Yeah, you 30.
I'm gonna say Chilhowie, 42, East Side 12.
I like
He's
that.
staying with the 30, but he's also
Well,
giving
I'm
us some
saying
shade there.
Chilhowie, 42. I like the 42 or 49 to 0 or 6.
I'm going Chilhowie 56 to nothing.
I could see that too.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe. They might suck. They're gonna
They're
suck.
gonna
man.
consider this a challenge. All right.
Well, now you consider last year, look what East Side.
Hey boys,
East Side put
North
up
Green,
430.
North Green, Tennessee at Twin Springs. I'm going with North Green, Tennessee.
I'm gonna take the Titans.
I'll take the Titans, and I
I'll
don't know
take
nothing
the
about
Titans.
North Green, so I'm gonna take the
Well,
Titans.
North
I don't, but I know.
You know something about Twin Springs?
Go ahead, we got a game of the week.
They're pretty close to.
All right,
Big City.
Patrick Henry at Honeacre. I know people think it might be a close game. I do too, but at the end, Patrick Henry wins by 2 touchdowns.
That sounds reasonable to me. I'm gonna go with Patrick Henry.
Late.
I think
Late.
the ground game, Patrick Henry's is, and Honeacre's gonna do this. It's gonna be a short game. I mean, this game's gonna be, you don't go to the concession stand, it'll be over.
And it will not surprise me if Honeacre beats them either, if it's close.
I think
Speaking
Can I
of
do
that,
that?
seen James Colley go to the concession stand when he was playing a game when I got a hot dog.
Probably playing you, wouldn't he?
Well, he could have plenty
I
of
was if he
times.
wasn't, he's probably
Yeah.
playing us.
But
All right.
I was scouting that night, and I said, man.
All right, guys, Ridgeview at Abingdon. This is a big game for
Yes, it
Ridgeview. If they lose here, we might have a top 5 shakeup. Who knows what might happen next week? This is their toughest game. If they win this game, they go undefeated.
They're
But
going
you know
undefeated.
what? I'm picking Ridgeview because of their physicality.
His count, that's a big word right
They're
there.
going undefeated.
Looked that one up this week. I agree with you. I'm going Ridgeview, but I actually think Abingdon's got this circle, buddy. I think they're game for this one. Gonna be a good crowd over there. It's
Big
probably
crowd.
a very good game to go watch.
Big crowd. All right, guys, and the game of the week.
Game of the week brought to you by Freedom Wireless.
Playing right now.
Yep. Imagine a man falling helplessly through the sky. Now imagine that man lands on top of your house. That man is a lot like your cell phone bill. He's through the roof. Freedom Wireless. We don't fix roofs, but we do repair cell phones. And we've got some really good cell phone plans. We've added more data this week to our cell phone plans. We've got annual plans. We've dropped down to $75 for a whole year's worth of service. We've got $12 a month plans with unlimited text on them. I mean, you can't beat what we got going on right now. It's actually better than what the big box stores have. So come by Freedom Wireless just in time for the holidays and check us out. Give us a call, 276-244-1407. And our game of the week this week is the Graham G-Men and the Richlands Big Blue Wind Machine.
You got that Mance cream down there, Crig?
I got the Mance cream and I've rubbed it on pretty good, and I'm going with the big R, guys. I know you all trying to find the score right now, so you all can pick, but
You're the one over the computer.
I'm going with the big R. It's not up yet. Guys, it's going to be a good football game. We should have took our show there and did the show, and right there at Mitchell Stadium, boys, big time game. I think Richlands wins a close one.
I'm going to stick with Coach Krieger on this one. I think Richland's going to pull it out. I think Graham's going to get a lot of respect, but that carrot's still going to be out there, and it's going to be.
You mean get a lot of respect? They already got respect.
Yeah, I think they'll get a lot more respect. And maybe to the point where people start
Believing,
believing
worrying
it.
about
Yeah,
it, like I
worrying.
said. But boys, Graham could do the same thing. If they win, they're going to get the respect, and then they're going to go on.
So what are you saying? To beat the
Richlands.
man, you got to beat the man.
That's what you said all week.
Well, all right, hey, Richlands is more battle tested right now. They played a tougher schedule. But you know what? Them G-Men's just got too many Jimmys and Joes for them.
They do. Hey, boys, they do.
Now they're going to be the tight game, but I'm going with Tony Palmer's G-Men.
Oh, look at that.
It's at
baby.
Mitchell Stadium.
That's true.
And
They're faster.
and you know, boys, next week we could have both of those coaches on this show.
That would be really
That
good.
would be awesome.
We'll try to pull that off. If it doesn't happen, you can blame Coach Krieger.
Going with the G-Men.
We'll try to make that happen.
Tester going with
All right.
the G-men,
Beefy,
baby.
it's 2 for Richlands, 1 for Graham. We'll give you the final say here.
I'm gonna say 28-21 G-Man.
Wow.
Oh,
We're split
too
down
much
the middle
speed
here,
there.
folks.
Oh.
There you
I-
go.
real quick, Mance's a tough coach, Palmer's a good coach, both schools got good athletes. I just think at the end,
Home field advantage.
home field advantage is what I make my call on. I may be completely wrong.
Mance is going to keep
I'll
it.
tell you what we're
Mance-
gonna do. We have never done this. It's 2-2, and we're gonna let the cameraman break the tie.
All right, Pistol, who
Mr.
you got,
Pistol,
Graham or
pick.
Richlands?
G-Man.
G-men.
You heard it,
Oh,
folks. Pistol
he
calls
goes
it
with Coach
3-2
Palmer and the
here.
G-men, baby.
All right. We don't have much time left. You want to catch the show, you can always catch it at 6 o'clock every Friday evening on WMJD 100.7 out of Grundy. You can catch us on YouTube. Go to After the Whistle. Our podcast is afterthewhistle.podomatic.com, or you can visit us on Facebook and find all those links at After the Whistle SWVA. Coach, you got anything else? One last comment, anything? Good to go. All right. You
Get
heard
out
it.
of school half day tomorrow. Woo!
Half day-
Or today. It's just in. Woo!
Forget it. All right, till next time.
I'm Tester.
I'm Coach Moore,
Coach Crig.
and practice is officially over.
Takes the snap, short drop, hits the quarterback.